Hey everybody, Bill in Virginia. Welcome back. So I'm starting this video on a Thursday. I traveled for work this week, and as I usually do, I try to find hobby shops that are close to where I'm at. You know, within about 5 to 10, maybe 15 miles of where I'm staying, so that in the evenings I could go take a look, or during lunch if I'm traveling. And I was up in New Jersey, just north of Trenton this week. And I found a hobby shop called Trains and Things in Trenton, New Jersey. So I went in there, and a really nice selection of Lionel, MTH, three-rail stuff. And that's what was predominantly in their store. Really good selection too. Some new stuff and old stuff. You know, if you're up that way and you're into three-rail O-scale, stop in. They've got a really good supply. So what I ended up coming out of there with is I did find some scenic materials that, you know, I consider a good bargain. I needed some more greens. They had some greens. They also had smoke. So what I've got here is Bayberry Holiday smoke fluid. I also got some additional smoke fluid that came in from an eBay purchase this week. I'll show that in just a second. But again, Trains and Things, Trenton, New Jersey. If I had three-rail, you know, I would have been in heaven. As it was, you know, I spent about an hour looking at what they had, and they're really nice stuff. Off eBay, I got more smoke fluid, and I wish I had waited, because where I was at this week at Trains and Things had the exact same thing, and I wouldn't have had to have paid shipping. But anyway, it is what it is. So this one is Christmas Pine, so pine tree scent. This is the one I'm looking forward to trying, frying bacon. So, you know, I'm gonna have a little bit of fun with this stuff. Frying bacon, I think I'll put over by the cabin, at least first when I do this. So I'll do that maybe this video or maybe the next one, I don't know. But what I am going to get started on is I'm going to go back over to the workbench. You know, I finish off the workday tomorrow. I'll move the layouts and get access to my little workspace and get started doing some other things. So we'll see what kind of mischief I can get into in this one. And I really think that I am going to work on the log crane. I want to get something on that flat car. So I think that's the one that I'm going to be doing next here. Well, Friday night after work, and I'm out here starting to put together that little log crane. A lot of little parts, fairly simple and straightforward construction on it. One thing that I've got is, let's see here. You can see it rocks. So if I hold up the frame for it, you can see it's warped. So some of the other kits that I've got that are of this type, and you can get them put back into shape using a heat gun. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat it, not excessively high heat, but low heat, and just kind of move it back and forth so that I can get this thing warm without melting. And you can warm this up, this resin kit, more than you can like a plastic building, you know, a regular commercial kit, before it does damage. You know, you get a commercial kit, you try to heat it up with one of these, odds are it's going to start to melt and deform badly. This won't. So I'm going to warm this up, and then I'm just going to put that little piece of, you know, micro plywood on it, and add some weight, maybe even my cola bottle. And it doesn't take long, and it'll get back into a nice flat shape. I don't think I'm going to have to do it with anything else that I've got for parts. Everything else looks good. I've just got to cut the flashing off, but I'm on the very first step. So let's see how this looks here in a few minutes. So that little bit of heat from that heat gun, and a little bit of clamping pressure from that micro plywood, and I've got a flat deck. So I'm ready to continue. I will start and get the wheels on. The wheels will go on the inside on here, and that should align it reasonably close for On30. The outside is more O scale because I already checked it, but I'll start a little bit farther here and then continue to work on it the rest of the weekend. Saturday afternoon, and I'm making some progress on this. Still got lots of little parts, but got the boiler in, working on the piping here underneath. The wheels are not glued in place, so they're free to move on that axle, which at this point's okay. So starting to get some stuff done on that, but this is a cool looking little model. So I'm letting some glue dry on this. I have come in with what they included in the package for the sides and the top. The instructions are not as clear as I would like. Like right here is the post. It shows what looks like a brass wire. Now there's no brass wire in here of that size. Here's that post. The post is hollow. Now I do have this, which does not show on any of the plans for where that goes. I've got my cylinders and other gear, toothed gear and other pieces. I think this goes on here somehow. But to know for sure, I need to get the kind of enclosure at least roughed up so that I can set it on and then I can do a measurement. Because this, just the way it sits, that's really not that high. The roof of this is going to be about up to here. So I still think this is the pin, and the size is right for going through the gear here and then into this. We'll see. I'll get this put together and let's see what it looks like. Later Saturday afternoon, and I'm making good progress. I will not attach the cab until I get everything else done. This spins, which is nice. I ended up using a piece of brass rod because I did find that it did look like I was missing a brass rod for my pivot point down here and then up here. I'm working on the boom currently. Still got some other pieces to do on that before I put it in place. And actually, I'll take this off since this is just sitting on here and finish assembly of this here after a while. Let some glue dry for a little bit before I go on to the next thing. So this is coming along nice. It's definitely something I would not want to build an HO scale. O scale with my fingers these days, that's good enough. But once I get everything put together, then I'll come back in and paint and then glue on the cab piece here. But this is going to be nice. That's going to look really cool on that flat car. Saturday night, and here's the finished model, excluding paint. I still have to do that. So you can see how it is sitting there. I will put track on that flat car. I have some fish plates that I use just as ground cover over on the HO scale layout. I'm probably going to pull off maybe about 8 of those. And then put code 70 rail down on this car to have that crane sitting on. But it's got nice detailing on the inside. As noted earlier, the crane swivels from side to side. So I like how that is. In the real world, this thing would kind of slide along. It could even lift and put log cars on the track. So I am going to get this painted and weathered, and maybe tomorrow I'll have it done. We'll see. But I like how that looks. This is going to be a nice addition to this scene here. Well, still Saturday evening, and I'm going to get started on this workboose kit. Again, this is another resin kit. This one I'm going to have to use some, maybe some more prolonged heat. That is like super warped. You can see how warped these are here and there. The frame itself is just slightly, excuse me, slightly warped. I should be able to get that bent back into shape, and even if it's not super good, yeah, it's an old car. So the rest of the smaller parts are fine, but these, I gotta get the heat gun out, so I'm gonna do them a part at a time so that I can get each piece reasonably flattened out and then go on to the next. So this is gonna take me the rest of what I'm gonna do this evening out here, and then tomorrow start fresh. So that super warped decking is now pretty good. It's thin, so this I will be able to get into shape on the car frame once I get to that point. So first piece is success. I'm going to do the rest of them tonight, and then tomorrow hopefully be at the point where I can start building this. Saturday night is coming to a close, and I have everything pressed and flattened. Looks a lot different than it did just a little bit ago when I started to film. So all of these now are ready to be worked. So I will clean up other little parts, and tomorrow I can probably get this put together. Once I get this car put together, then I will paint it and the crane both at the same time. So I'll just kind of spend some evenings and make them look good. Sunday afternoon, and I have this in pretty good shape. This is an easy kit to put together. I'm using, again, the On30 Bachmann trucks. At some point in time, I will try to get some better On30. Not that Bachmann trucks are bad, but just smaller wheel diameter so these sit lower. I've used wood blocks, and I don't know if you can see it from this angle, probably not, to lower the couplers because of the wheel height on these. So I can easily get it out and rework it if I can get smaller couplers in the future. Also, I made a mistake in that I used the short side, or shorter ones here, which should have gone over here. And they all fit. And when I get it weathered, it'll look different. It just looks a little off on this side, which I can make up a story for it. But here's the little cupola kind of shed, however you want to call it, that fits on here. I will paint everything before I glue this down so that the decking is done. And I'll make that sort of a softer brown compared to the dirtier looking brown that'll go over here. But nice little car. I will put it on the layout, and we'll do a look at the two projects I've done for this video, and then that will wrap up this one. Next one I will be painting. I will actually add some hand grabs on this, kind of like I did on the other caboose. And the other caboose, I think I'm going to do a little bit more on it too, put up some little barriers on the ends with maybe some chain hanging there, just kind of make it look a little bit safer. So anyway, let's see how this looks sitting over on the layout. Again, still a lot more to do on it yet, but it's a nice little model. Still got to put the windows in too, I remember, and the smokestack. So I've got a few more things to do with it, but let's go take a look and see how it looks on the tracks. I think that's going to look pretty good over here once I get it painted and weathered up. Nice little car. You can see on the caboose that's right here, I'm going to probably put some stanchions up just on the end. So I've got like some little rails there, a little chain in between. Same thing over on this side. That'll just give it a bit more finished look. But this will be nice. Get it painted and weathered up. I've got a lot more details like what I've got over here that I can put on this car. I could even, you know what, I could even put a little crane on that. That might look kind of cool. I'll think about it. Then there's my other crane up there for the logging camp. Haven't gotten the track on yet for that flat car, but again, these will be projects that I should be able to wrap up in the next video, or at least get close. So with that, keep having fun on your layouts. Until next time. And one more snip. So I took one of those cranes that I've been working on and just set it on the car. And I think I'm gonna put it on permanently. I like how that looks. Just a little work crane here where it can get over on that side. It can get on either side to pick up, move heavy barrels of spikes or whatever. So I think I'm going to include that on that one. But anyway, that'll be next time.